Good evening, everyone. So typically, I have done Breakthrough with Brindley's on Monday nights because I don't know why we started it on Monday nights, but it was always Monday nights. And my vision has always been we have enough podcasts. We don't need another podcast. So, what I want to bring you guys is 10 to 15 minutes of real talk, honest talk, something that you can think about for the week, something that maybe you can work on for the week. And I'm going to do a theme for the week. So all of my posts, my midweek email, which if you're not on, go to my website, brindleytucker.com. You can sign up right on the front page. And my post, my email, everything will have to do with that topic. So this week, I wanted to bring something to you that a lot of my clients are facing and something that I personally faced. And it cost me a lot. It cost me friendships, it cost me business, it cost me relationships. And that's how we learn. And that's how we learn, right? I look at this universe as one big energetic field that God uses to teach us the same lesson over and over and over until we get it. So let's talk about overfunctioning. So 77% of people in their jobs currently are burnout. They're not happy. And we are 3 times more likely to become burned out if we're doing someone else's work. And that's exactly what overfunctioning is. Overfunctioning is carrying the weight so that someone else in the system doesn't have to, or so the system doesn't feel the discomfort. But here's the thing, and I always have my talking points. So if I'm looking down, that's what I'm looking at for those of you that are little judgy judgers out there. I'm just kidding. It would be me too. And so we want to define it. So overfunctioning is going to be anytime we're doing more than what we're supposed to be doing. So the system is always going to seek balance. That's not woohoo. That's not religious. That's not political. That is physics. When someone else does more, it causes someone else to do less. So when you overfunction in the system or in a relationship or in your business, somebody else is going to step back. So as leaders, we think that what we're doing is good. We think we're helping. We think we're picking up the slack. We're carrying the torch. In reality, we're giving someone an excuse to do less by doing more for them because the system is always going to seek balance. Everything in this universe is based on polarity, balance. Everything has a yin and a yang. And so if someone's doing more, the yang would be someone doing less. So let me ask you, where are you doing more right now in your family, in your business, in your relationship, in a friendship? Where are you possibly carrying more than you should? And here's the thing. We don't do it because it's not selfless. Like we don't do it to help. It really is to protect us from something. And so once we identify that we're carrying too much in a relationship, the next thing we want to do is figure out what we're protecting. Is it creating safety for us? Is it helping us maintain control of something? It's usually giving us something in return. And until we're ready to give that thing up, we won't be able to stop the overfunctioning. And the reality is it costs a whole lot. And you usually don't know how much it's going to cost until the end. And that's what happened to me. I overfunctioned for years in my client relationships, in my friendships, in my relationship with my mother, in my business. I overfunctioned. I did everything, whatever needed to do. I was not very great at holding people accountable. And guys, listen, yes, I'm a coach. Yes, teachers teach what they can't do sometimes, but that doesn't mean I'm not human. It doesn't mean that I'm not a student. Every good coach is also a great student. And they're not afraid to talk about, hey, we fail our way forward too. It's how we become better as coaches for you so that we know what it feels like. We're in the trenches with you every day. And some of us are doing this life thing for the first time, just like everybody else. And so I overextended and I overfunctioned to the point where I developed resentment. And it was pretty deep resentment for people that I cared for and I loved at a really, really deep level. And some of those friendships are no longer with me. Some of those friendships are still there. Some of them are on a break, and I think that they'll be back. Yet the only thing that was actually being sacrificed was me. Because what we don't realize is that overfunctioning is truly just self-betrayal. It's not doing less. It's not chasing business. It's not, people keep asking me, well, Brindley, like, are you afraid that you're not going to have business? I have plenty of business. I am fine financially, but I'm just doing it different this time. I'm not going to overfunction this time. I'm not going to overextend to lead. And one day I will lead again. And I'll take all of the lessons that I learned from that and from overfunctioning and bring them into these new relationships. But the more that we stay in relationship with people that we're continuing to overfunction, they're going to continue to do less. And therefore, we're creating a crutch. We're becoming their crutch for them to do less. So I just ask you this week to really reflect as you go through your week. What are you carrying that is not yours? What have you been carrying for a really long time that maybe it's time to give back to someone? Because we all do this. We do it in our relationships. We do it in our businesses. And it's not yours. You learned it from somewhere. And typically we learned it to be safe. We learned that if I do, then I will always belong. If I do more, I will always be loved. If I do more, I will always be accepted. I have to do more because they had to do more. These are all the beliefs that we tell each other through programming and we tell ourselves through preconditioning. So follow me this week. I'll be giving lots of tips around overfunctioning, and follow me every Monday night. Guys, this was only 6 minutes and I probably will keep them under 10, but just little nuggets for you to think about. So real quick, just to recap tonight, think about this week where you're stepping into things that are not yours to own, and give that person back their opportunity to grow, because every time you overextend, you take something away from someone else. Again, that's not spiritual. That's not woohoo. That's physics. We'll see you next week. Bye, guys.